But please let me. Okay.
Okay. Hello and welcome everyone. As we wait for everyone to join, feel free to grab your favorite beverage and get comfortable. So we'll be starting in just a few moments. Before we dive into the world of AI and email marketing, let's get to know each other a bit. Please use the chat to introduce yourselves, write where you're from, and share what aspects of Generative AI intrigues you the most. So let's start. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's enlightening webinar. I'm Alexandra from Stripo, and we're thrilled to have you join us as we delve into the dynamic world of generative AI and its transformative impact on email marketing. Today, we'll explore how generative AI is transforming the way we create content, personalize messages, and innovate in the realm of email marketing. We are honored to have with us two distinguished experts in the field. Maksym Zubenko, Head of Product Marketing Lead Generation at Reply. With a rich legacy spanning nearly a decade in marketing, Maksym has helmed marketing departments across the USA, Europe, and the Nordics, showcasing his adeptness in crafting strategies for hardware, SaaS, and budding startups. And our next speaker is Dmitry Kudrenko, founder and CEO of Stripo. Dmitry is a lifelong entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in the software development and 15 specifically in email marketing. He's an expert in email marketing automation and a licensed specialist in lead management and email messaging. His goal is to make email marketing more accessible for businesses and more useful for subscribers. So before we start, I'd like to remind you to feel free to share your thoughts and questions throughout the webinar. At the end, we'll hold a Q&A session where our speakers will address your questions. So let's dive into our conversation. And Max, please go ahead.
Thank you. Can you hear me as everything's fine? Hope. Okay, so I can see my slides. Let's go. Let's talk a couple of minutes about my goal for these 20 minutes, maybe shorter. I just want to prove you with the cases how you could put life easier. And it doesn't matter what you're doing right now. So doing your email marketing or you do cold outreach, doesn't matter. I just describe each case and describe how many time I save with this or another one approach. And then if you're interested in this content, you could contact me in LinkedIn and I'll share with you the document with all those prompts I'll mention in next 20 minutes. So let's start. The first first case, it was generating banners ideas with GPT. We discovered the pretty low CTR in LinkedIn, and our idea was to make our ads, make it weird and make it eye-catchy. So we write down it. We use spreadsheet. We write down main messages about reply. That's reply is cutting-edge tool. That's reply is all the tool which all sales need, and many other messages. And then we generated. I mean, we brainstorming and generated metaphors which describe this message. For example, reply is what you need to scale your sales. Okay, it's something like instant growth. Okay, so maybe it's about Alice from Wonderland. Nice. And then we'll go to ChatGPT and then ask it, could you generate more examples of instant growth in pop culture from the books, etc. And ChatGPT generated this list, and we feed it with other messages, other metaphors, and till the end of the day, we got, I don't know, 30, 40 examples, 40 ideas of potential ideas for our ads. And next step, we just ask GPT, could it transform each idea of this banner, transform it into the technical task for designer. For example, you could check the image, the sample, and it was like, if aliens would like to steal something high tech from the Earth, they will choose reply, and that's how those creatives looked. It was pretty simple, but it was eye-catchy because it was so strange. So if you scrolling your feed in LinkedIn, it's pretty easy. You could notice this kind of ads, and it saved us 3 to 5 hours, because if we generate each idea, each metaphor by ourselves, we spend much more time. Next example. Competitors' landing pages analysis. It's about 1 to 3 hours. From 1 to 3 hours, what you could save this amount of time. And what I recommend. It's simple. You could use. It's working good with paid GPTs, ChatGPT Plus. Where you fed it with links to main landing pages of your competitors, and then using plugins. When you use plugin for analysis of other pages, you could summarize, I don't know, unique selling points. You could summarize prices. You could summarize main features. So in this case, it's again about 1 to 3 hours you could save, because it's much more easier to collect all this info into and what's important is ChatGPT could pack all those info from all those landing pages into the table, and then you could just copy it and paste it into your spreadsheet and then analyze it with your colleagues. Creating custom interviews. There was 2 steps. The first one where I asked GPT to create an ultimate guide for how to create questions for interview, and then for the second step, I ask it to tailor all those questions for the specific audience. So I described on the second stage, on the second step, I described my audience, the pains I want to solve. So I made it so as specific as possible, and those questions was so great. I mean, I use it, and it helped us a lot. Customization of any self-presentation. It's not about email marketing. It's not about marketing itself, but it helped me when I'm preparing for some events, or I'm preparing to apply on some conferences, etc. So you should create Google document with you could use your CV. You could enrich it with a recommendation from your LinkedIn. You should know that GPT, even with plugins, can't parse your LinkedIn, so it's much better to copy to Google Doc. And then you could use all this. I mean, you could use this info from your CV and using info from event you are applying. For example, last time I was applying to as a speaker to event for startups, and I fed GPT with my CV and asked it to prepare a couple ideas of lecture for early stage startups. And it was much easier to analyze all those topics based on my experience without avoiding generated myself. So it's about to save your energy for something else. So, and it's again about couple hours. That's how you could save your time. And it's pretty interesting case. Let's imagine that your sales team came to you and they told you that, whoa, we have 3 clients with a great check, and could we attract more clients? You went to some SEO or traffic analysis tool and trying to find those keywords your sales team mentioned, but there are no keywords you want to find. And that's what we did. We took this audience and their needs, which sales team brought to us, and we took what they're looking for. So, for example, I don't know, the invest venture funds which looking for cold outreach to reach startups. It's like example. And then we could request GPT to prepare ultimate cold outreach guide, the plan for our article, and then enrich it with the pain points of our potential audience. So it could be I don't know, venture capital employers. And then when we have this specific tailored plan for this specific audience, we could ask GPT to create an article. So the next step, we enrich it with a couple illustrations, and then post it on a blog with, I don't know, some past date. And in couple weeks, we could check, do we have any organic traffic for this low frequency search topic? In our case, we got traffic, and it's because of the low frequency, it's so high quality. It is so high quality traffic. So I recommend you to talk to your sales team, and maybe you will discover more potential low frequency topics. Reverse engineering. So it's a great thing. In my case, I got it from previous case. I got an article, and I want to prepare a post cover for our blog. But our designer, he was on vacation, and I decided to do it by myself. So the first thing I did, I copy image from our blog. Then I add it to ChatGPT and ask it to reverse engineer this image into the prompt. Nice. I got a prompt which describing the image from our blog. Nice. Okay, fine. Next step, I feed another chat where is DALL-E AI connected to create image using this prompt. So you could check this image in my presentation. So the first one, the image above, it's from our blog. The second one on the left side with balls, it's what DALL-E created using the prompt which was created using our image. Then I tweak a little bit this prompt. I change the items, so I change ball, use heater, etc., and then generated totally different image, but it fit our blog covers style. So that's how I during our design vacation, I do it by myself. So I save a couple hours. I mean, including communication and technical tasks, etc. So it was great. For me, it was like magic. And highly recommend improve anything you created. Which way? You could add this phrase. So calc, can I rephrase this prompt to get a more accurate response from ChatGPT, etc. So you could use this prompt to prompt your mate, and you could notice the difference. So on the left side there is a prompt I made. On the right side it's much more detailed, so the result is much more better. And the last example, it's example from Reply. It's how we use generative AI in our product. There is two things in JSON AI, in our AI sales assistant. The first thing, it's openers. So we're using info of the clients you want to reach, or potential clients you want to reach, to enrich and to rewrite your cold message, your cold email. That way, it's the chances that someone will open it is much more higher. And the second case, we use data you provide in Reply about your potential clients to tweak your message, to use pain points. For example, you want to reach head of sales or I don't know, this role, then we could use head of sales pain point to change, to rewrite your messages. And it works. It definitely works. So if you're interested you could use it in your work, how you could improve and how you could save time, so contact me. I'll be happy to share with you my document with all those prompts. And yeah, that's all. That was my last slide. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Max. Thank you. Alexandra, you want to say something?
Yes, I would like to say, so please don't hesitate to ask your questions. We will answer all at the end of the webinar. And Dmitry, your word.
Yeah. So again, Max shared his experience crafting AI for emails and how they do this in their product as well. And I want to share my own experience and what we do in our products in Stripo and other solutions. So before I start, I want to make a small announcement about the event that was yesterday. And if you didn't see it, you have to finish our webinar and then immediately switch to the OpenAI Dev Day, where Sam Altman announced what's new in OpenAI and how developers can use AI to improve their products in more advanced way than it was. So I expect that, I don't know, in 2 months, we can have another webinar with our experience of how to use very advanced things. But okay, it's just for you. Just to make just feeling how things are going fast. 2 million developers working on OpenAI at the moment, and more than 100 million users, active weekly users who use this. If you don't use AI, OpenAI or ChatGPT, it means that you may be somewhere behind. So it's time to try, and we're here to inspire you with some cases. Some statistic about the tactics that wanted to be that a lot of company plan to include into their strategy. And you see the biggest difference between the last year and this year is in using AI. And months ago, I was in Litmus Live in Boston, and there were a session about exploring the impact of AI on email marketing. And there were some like takeaways or some theses that AI is like a junior copywriter, designer, coder, or analytic. So it can only save a time, but it never can replace marketer, because of only marketer understands the context of your audience, your experience with subject line, experience of segmentation and others. So if it's a junior, I have a question: can we grow it to a senior? And can we hire hundreds of juniors using the tool to use it effectively? So what I feel, I spoke with all the people who was in the conference, and what I feel even for during these months, that there are several stages from denial to acceptance. So first, I said, okay, AI will never replace marketer. It's just time saver, and it's not like a huge impact because of only marketer will control their campaigns. Then I found the articles that, okay, it will never replace marketer, but AI with a marketer better than for marketers. It means that it replaced some marketers. And now I more often see, especially after the release, that it's a game changing. A lot of things will be changed very soon, especially in terms to growing junior into senior. Because of why junior? It doesn't know context. Now it's possible to upload the context to teach only on your personal data that would never be shared, and use this data for your marketing automation. I would like to share our experience. But before we start, in the conference here, I saw the opinion that generative AI is not machine learning. It's better to use machine learning. First, we have to understand that AI is any kind of programming things. Machine learning is subset of AI, which means that it's like self-educating. It's programming without explicit programming. The next level is a neural network, and the next level is a like deep learning, is very advanced neural network, and generative AI is subset of deep learning. So it is machine learning as well. But how usually company use AI? There are two different approaches. First, generative AI, we will speak today. Another is a typical machine learning algorithms. It's predictive segmentation, recommendation, sending time optimization, all the stuff usually embedded into your software. Now we will speak what you can do without any additional software. And if it was a survey that we asked where you plan to use AI in the nearest future, some for content personalization, sometimes it's a recommendation, sometimes it's AI. The more retargeting, again, it's better to use machine learning algorithm. But subject line optimization, generative AI is very good. Dynamic content generation, generative AI is very good. So let's go to the example. First, content generation. It's very easy. Just suggest me subject line. In a Stripo, we used like more advanced way. Just use Cialdini rules of persuasion to suggest subject line based on my idea. So it improves very easily. It generates you 6 different variants. If you like it, you apply, and then you can modify it. It's the first very easy way. The second, you can optimize the text block you already have. So you write a text and they say, okay, make it shorter, or change the tone of voice to more casual or more formal. Or maybe you say, okay, generate me invitation to this webinar about AI impact on email marketing. It generates, but very long text. You can make it shorter, simplify, change tone of voice, and you have what you want in different iteration, working with text block. The next level, when you work not with a text block, but with a content item block. So when it generates image, title for button, description, it's much better because of it understands the context of all things he generates, and it works easier. And we tried, we did a lot of experiments, and some of the experiments here, we used human written emails where we have a digest of our blog, and also AI generated email when we just put the link into article and it generated whole blog. And we had experiments where AI won in click rate. So what we have, email content generation level, we did generation just line of text, subject line or pre-header, text block, it's the next level, content module, it's several text blocks. But can we generate whole email in our design? Yes, it's possible, but in this case, we have to think in different way. We have to think in a modular design for emails. If you have modules and these modules have variables, then I will share with you what I did. We have library of modules for our design, and it have to be animation here, but it doesn't work. It's okay. I will describe you. You can drag and drop module, put the link, and it gets the data automatically and put into your email. Because of it's not just design, but also variables. We know where is the price, where is description, where is the button. Using this, we can use a lot of different data sources, your product feed, your blog RSS feed, some data about your company, about industry, and OpenAI that can generate the data and put into email using your design if he has a description of content items, I say of modules. So in the ChatGPT 4 Plus, we have an ability, like Max mentioned, to turn the plugin. I like the link reader plugin. So you choose a plugin, you choose a link reader, and after that, you can provide him a link to a document or to something. It can parse it, get, and use this data. For example, in this screen, I said, okay, can you read this specification? And in the specification, I describe everything about my company, about our audience, type of email we usually send, and the modules and parameters of the modules. For example, header doesn't have a parameters, but we have a product card that has image, title, and something. So I described everything about what I have. And based on this, I said, okay, you have my specification. You understand the different type of email, and I can put your objection, like generate me email for invitation to the webinar about AI. And say, okay, start with the header, no parameters, then some salutation, then the main content, where you have title, description, image, and call to action button. And it adds the parameters to them. And using the modules with the parameters, we can use the data list of the modules that we can put into our email because of it's what we can do in a Stripo, and it can generate whole email. Oh, I didn't put an example here. So we can generate line, text, content model, whole email, but also it's possible to generate whole campaign. We even wrote a tool for this. So when you say, okay, describe your company, choose the objective. You want feedback, or you want a conversion improvement, or retention, or uplift, and then select the segment you want to communicate, active users or maybe inactive users. When you do this, it generates whole campaign, all the messages, and also can predict the uplift. So you will improve your, it's here example with not email, but push notification, but the same. Push notification open rate on 60%. And frequency increase in frequency of usage application. So we have a campaign benchmark. When you deploy it, we can predict the result. Okay, another way. So we can use generative AI as a content generator. Also, we can use it as an expert. I mentioned to you that I have a Google Doc which describes everything about me. And I say, okay, use my requirements for email. And can you estimate, can you score my existing email on clarity, on conversion, on formatting, on grammar, on relevance, and all the stuff. So I said, characteristic to score, my requirements for email, and you have a link to email. And it prepare me the score, the clarity, 8 from 10, and suggestion what I can improve. The relevance, 9 from 10. It's pretty good. So it gives me suggestion what can be improved and why something is not perfect. Also, prepare the data using generative AI. Usually I do this with the names. I have database with the names. And usually you say, hello, first name. But what if first name is not real first name? Because in database, sometimes you find SDF or some RS or name in other language. It doesn't look like very personal when you communicate with this name to your client. So you can use very easily extension to Excel. It's not Excel, it's a Google Sheet. So as an extension, you can add GPT for Sheet, add your key in Open API, and then I have a table where I have first names and prompt to apply to check is a real name or not. Please score how popular the email first name. If I would write to this person in English, how to spell in Latin his name, like Dmitry. If I would speak in Ukrainian, can I use vocative case? Yes, it is a case. So I have a database of validated names and can much easily do this, to speak to them. But with Excel, you can do it with very limited number of first names. What I did, I also tried to use like a bulk update in a ChatGPT. I just put some names and say, okay, improve it, adding the scoring, adding the Latin, Ukrainian variant. It works much better, but still it's not big. I have millions of emails in my data of first name in my database. So you can use beta version of advanced data analytics. You can upload a CSV file or XLS file and say, okay, can you say something about the list I provided? Yes, I see these first names, and some of them is not real, some is real, some is in a Cyrillic. Okay, please rate the authenticities of the first name to scale from 0 to 10, then I can filter, is it a real name or not? Provide Latinized version, translate the name to Ukrainian, and blah, blah, blah. And when it generates, I can download it as a CSV file and upload to the system very easily with my millions of first names. Another way I'm using generative AI is how to analyze the data. First, I grab the data about one of our competitors who sell a lot of email templates. I get the data. There are millions of records. I upload it, and then I just ask the question. You sold templates. Which templates sold more frequently? Which dates they sell better? What is the average price? Can you show me dependence on number of comments on the template page and number of sales? So we do a lot of analytics and insights. That is how to work with the data, but how it can be impacted on email. So I uploaded all our campaigns with the subject lines, with open rate, click rate, deliverability rate, all the things, and ask it, okay, just describe me the data you see in this report. I say, okay, I see there's columns, There is a subject, message name, segment, type, and then I only ask, okay, which subject lines are better? Can you highlight me and insights and say, okay, if you use new product update or recent plugin release or free webinar, it works better. Usually you have open rate 30%, but sometimes it's less. Open rate depends on the volume of list you send. So, and the frequency. So it gets all the data and analyze and visualize it. It works very well. Do you have another ideas where to use OpenAI? I have really a lot more. We're very limited on time, but I want to share from Litmus Life the case of Zapier, what they did. They added in the automation process, Zapier, it connects two different applications. I know if you create email in a Stripo, then send at the row in Google Sheet, doesn't matter. Or if you receive email with this subject line, create the task in Asana. Or so doesn't matter. A lot of tools, thousands of different connections. You can never personalize the ideas how to use your product stack for automation. But Zapier knows which application you already added, and it can generate the idea how to use it more efficiently. And ChatGPT helps a lot here. So it's like a real-time dynamic content with AI personalization. So I think that it will dramatically change in the nearest future the role of email service provider, customer data platform. Now they work in a way like following instruction. You define segment, you set the message, you say, okay, send this campaign. You define the workflow and say, you just follow this workflow. I think now when it can do manipulation on email, on the channels, it can suggest the frequency, it can suggest a lot of different things. You will only set the goal. I want to improve like objective conversion for this audience in this life cycle stage. And it can generate the actions and system will perform this action that generated by AI. It means that we are, as a marketers, will not think about technical stuff, how to do something, how to configure it. We will think about most important thing, about our audience, about the messages, about the value we can bring to our audience. And I think it's a new era of marketers. I would never replace people, but it dramatically change the way how we work for better. So I invite you to this journey to improve your working day, to remove routine. And I would say takeaways from my part of the session. That generative AI is great for content and idea generation. And you can educate your junior AI assistant into senior to make it from assistant to a partner that helps you a lot. And use all advanced things from ChatGPT, plugins, analytics, OpenAI thing, DALL-E, like Max shared the ideas how to generate banners or advertisement, everything. Automate all routine because of, I think it's much better when we will do our core work, thinking about the people. And use OpenAI for real-time integration with your system. Now it's possible. If you would see the video I mentioned, you can create your GPT. You can connect to your ESP. You can connect to your calendar, to Canva, to the example with integration using Zapier with a calendar to suggest the better time slots for some work, or maybe with a Canva to generate something. I don't want to The spoilers there is better to see, but it's a great days we can be evident. So that's it. If you have any questions, please welcome. Max and Alexandra, you also can ask any questions.
We're here. We're here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dmitry. Actually, I have questions. What plugins can you recommend to use? Actually,
Really, for me, I'm fan of link handler because of link handler can read PDF, can read websites, can read all the things, just link to the image. And it means that you can very easily create very rich content, context, not only content, context that you can very easily put into your session and then continue to expand with your additional prompts. So link reader.
okay, I see. We also have two questions.
Excuse me, Max, what you would recommend?
Yep.
it's I would like to recommend almost the same, but it's browse OP, and it's about the bundle analysis when you fed GPT with I don't know 5-10 links, and it analyzing it one by one, providing you details which you required. So I don't know, UTP or prices, etc. So browse. I think that they're doing the same. You mentioned link reader, and I think why I'm using this one. So I'll check it after our webinar for sure.
Okay, thank you so much. We also have two questions. First one, are there any ethical considerations or potential risks we should be aware of when using generative AI to craft email marketing content?
Max,
Dmitry?
who's that? Okay,
I'll be the next.
I think that yes, yes, we have. First, because of you provide the data to ChatGPT, and the first thing is about confidence and about the privacy of the data. I know that in a lot of company, it's forbidden to have ChatGPT because of maybe they would provide some forbidden, private, some legal information to ChatGPT. The next one, ChatGPT is not always generate the right content. Sometimes it's mistaken. It's mistaken a lot, even in data analytics based on provided data. Sometimes in using all the fakes that popular in internet because of it's what it use the data he fed, and it was a month ago when it was like a joke that ChatGPT became more stupid because of he started to speak with the people. So we feed it with the data, and sometimes he uses it in the wrong way. You can never be confident that it's true information. And sometimes it's trying to be very ethical. It's trying to use only confident data, but it's not always true. So it's our responsibility to keep it in a good order. Sometimes he can maybe, because of, you can refer to the content that ChatGPT generated, but maybe it's under the copyright. You would never know because if you don't know even the real source where you get the idea. You saw that the ChatGPT generated because of, I don't know, because of stars. So it's you have to be very accurate using this data, especially for publishing the data onto the wide audience.
Okay,
Max?
Thank you so much, Max.
In my case, I'm pretty paranoid. So when I'm trying to take some data insights or something, and I vet it with, I don't know, my ads campaigns results or something, I'm trying to, to change the name of columns, for example, to avoid some. When we're talking about numbers, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's CAC, it's CTR. It doesn't matter. It's just general names. But when I fed to GPT something with names or with I don't know, with reply logo, not logo. I mean the name of reply somewhere in this document. I'm trying to erase it. To be honest, I'm not sure it could be useful, but that's what I'm doing right now. And in our, I haven't heard any cases when something were discovered, when I don't know, when some company fed GPT with some data and then this data were discovered in other place or in other results. I haven't heard, but I think that's in nearest future it could be that we will hear about such cases. So I think we should be careful with the data we use and with data we got from GPT.
I would say don't panic. Because of ChatGPT is very responsible for the data. They keep it because of it can crash all the business model of ChatGPT. For example, today I used some anonymized data for medical clinic, and I did anonymization. So I changed the real names or some IDs. I just used some token generated instead of names, but I also uploaded them into private section. And when I completed my analytics, I just cleared the data. And ChatGPT said me that, okay, don't worry, we will never use your data, and it's deleted from our servers. I believe that it's true. But anyway, I always trying to modify the data to make it not personal.
Me too.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. The next question is, how does using generative AI for email marketing align with data privacy and security regulations?
Okay. The same.
I think it's similar to the previous one.
Yeah.
But what I would say is that in examples I shared, and Max shared, there is no private information, just how you can improve.
And we're responsible for it. Just notice that we're responsible for what we download there, for what we use. So it's totally on our side to anonymize some data, to delete couple columns in a spreadsheet, to analyze it later without names, for example. So I think it's still human question. It's still about our own responsibility and our approach to security in a company and security approach to our data.
Yeah, but it's so easy to upload all your data into advanced analytic model and do analytics because of you don't need even to hire analytic, especially in the case when I analyzed it was SimForest. I spent about a week maybe preparing the reports of insights. With the ChatGPT, I just asked it more questions than I investigated during my research and spent about 1 hour to get all the answers.
Dmitry, do you feel this gold mode which is turned on when you're using such features like this one? It's like it's really like gold mode. You're just doing things which were impossible half a year ago, a couple months ago.
Yeah. I'm very excited to do it. Very excited, especially I asked our data scientists to prepare some reports. Sometimes I'm waiting for a week, and when I have a result, I have additional question, and I lost the context. And here it's kind of it's more than magic. I just fill myself with the right data. And yesterday, when I saw the dev day of OpenAI, it took me several hours to sleep because of I cannot sleep because of I just thought, okay, how much I want to do right now. I don't have a time for sleeping. But I think it's what we will have a very big revolution very soon.
It is. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And the last and not least, really interesting question from a user's perspective. What change might subscribers notice in emails crafted using generative AI?
I may answer first because it's again about our responsibility. So if you use and it's totally relevant for Stripo and for Reply, or if you use AI personalization and then you haven't checked or you haven't checked the data you fed to GPT, then the results could be. I mean, it could be easy to recognize that's it's again personalized with some new automation feature, and then this magic wouldn't work, I think.
It's a good question. Like Turing problem. Yeah, you as a person speak with, you don't know, with a computer or with a person, and asking the several questions, you have to recognize who is speaking with you. Now you can see it in the chat when you just speak with somebody in a call center or send a message. You never know who responds you. Earlier, it was very easy to understand because of it was so stupid. It was so inaccurate, and sometimes he gave very, very strange advices. Now, when you speak with a bot, sometimes you think, okay, it's much, much smarter than if it would be just typical operator. He can think, you even feel the empathy. Sometimes I have a friend who spoke with the ChatGPT just to like a psychologist, just to get the help, just to speak with somebody, just to return back in a good mood, and it helped. So if it's work like this, it means that all communication in emails would be more personal, it would be more accurate, it would be more clear. I think we will notice only the better quality of communication. But some people, as usually, yeah, I am because, but also I think that some people would use it just because of it's a tool. But in Agile, if you know the Agile in programming way, Agile is always individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So it will be always people who use the tool in the wrong way. But please unsubscribe from them if it's not our product, because of maybe it's just mistake.
Okay, thank you so much, and big thank you to our speakers for their invaluable insights, and to each of you for being such an attentive audience. We hope you find it as informative and inspiring as we did. So thank you, and we are grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexandra, for moderating. Max, thank you for sharing your ideas. I already started to do my reverse engineering of images.
Oh, nice. And I'll check your presentation too. Thank you. So, and hope we will meet again on such a stage.
Definitely.
Thank you for inviting us. See you.
Indeed. See you. Bye-bye.